Hi, everyone. I'm Diane Manuel from Urban Wealth Management. Thank you for joining me today for our monthly Smart Women Savvy Money webinar. We host these webinars on the second Thursday of every month at 1 o'clock from 1 to 1:30. And it's really our opportunity to share with our community a number of lifestyle issues or financial issues, things that we think people in our community will find important. So I know you are busy today, and thank you for taking this half an hour to join us to get some information about being wealthy. As I said, we do this every month. So a lot of you all are tuning in, and you're regulars, and you're our friends and part of our community, and we thank you so much for supporting us and joining us. And for you all that are new to us, thank you for finding us and tuning in. I welcome you with an open heart, and I hope you come back to us on a consistent basis to enjoy the variety of things that we have available for you all. In fact, I'm going to walk you through that. So here's our website, and as you can see, we're Urban Wealth Management. We have a number of different things that are free here on the website and for our community. You can do an assessment of your investment risk. So, if you scroll down, that really works. You can find out a little bit more about our services. So please feel free to take a look at that. We have a number of different services. So as I'm here, let me talk to you about Urban Wealth Management a little bit. We're a full-service financial advisory firm. What does that mean? That means we help our clients with planning, investments and investment strategies. We help them manage their money, and we help them fulfill their insurance needs. Typically, our clients are women, their families, their businesses, and of course, their philanthropy. And we look at the whole person, what their intentions are, things that they want to do, and we move forward based on that information. As such, we have a number of free things on our website that will help you get some information about us. So again, here are our services. We have a number of blogs you can search right here. I have a new blog that came up last month, Minding the Gap, and it's really about the gap that women have in terms of investments. And some of the data indicates that women can lose up to $1 million by not investing well. We also have events. So in addition to this event, the last two events for the year are my webinar that I'm doing next Wednesday night, Women Wealth Boss, Wealth is Yours. It's a little bit about being wealthy also, and some investment strategies. So feel free to register for this event at our website. It is free. And then our very last Smart Women Savvy Money webinar for the year, it's about being a landlord. So many of our clients have income property, or they're thinking about having income property. If you fall into any of those two camps, or you know somebody who falls into one of those two camps, or you're just thinking about it, please go ahead and sign up. So again, this is free too. We're having Tia Hughes, who is knowledgeable about real estate and income property, and so she'll be talking about this next month on November 14th. So please, if you're interested, sign up for that. We have videos and a number of different videos, so please feel free to check those things out too. So that is a little bit about us. So a little bit about me. Personally, I am absolutely committed to creating a movement of women who are comfortable and confident about creating and maintaining their wealth and financial freedom. It's something I'm absolutely committed to, and I do it absolutely every day with all of my clients, and I'm so happy that I can help them move forward with whatever their intentions are in their life. So let's get started on the webinar today. Let me pull up that screen. Okay. Give me a second. It's not being happy. Hold on just a second. Okay, there we go. Let me pull it up so we all can see the same thing. Coolio. Here we go. Sorry for the delay. We are a Securities and Exchange Commission's registered investment advisor, so we have to share these disclosures with you. So I always like to get them over and done with at the very beginning. So done. I've showed them to you. So this is really our Smart Women Savvy Money webinar about being wealthy. And my intention today is to share with you something that figuring out strategies that you can implement tomorrow to do something different than you did today. So let's go on this journey together, and let me share this information, and I hope it's something, there's one or two nuggets that you can take away with you today after the webinar. So the first thing I'd like you to do is to imagine the life that you'd like to live. What does that look like? And if you are at your desk or at home, write it down. Just jot something down, the first word that comes to your mind. Doesn't matter. Just imagine the life that you would want to live. Do you want to be at a beach? Do you want to be with your family? Do you want your job? You love your job now and you hope you get to keep it as long as you can. You want to spend more time with your family or your friends, whatever that happens to be. I put a beach picture because I just happen to like the beach. But imagine the life you want to live and just write it down. Now, if you're driving, don't do that. But if you're not, please take the second to just jot down something. Because knowing the life that you want to live will help you get clarity about your wealth. Your intention is to have a lifestyle that's important, that's reflective of the life that you want to live. When you understand that intention, where you're going, you automatically become more focused. You automatically know exactly where you're going, what your intentions are, what you want to do, and how you want to wake up every morning, what is important to your heart and to your soul. It helps get you focused. This is you. You have more options, right? You think sometimes when you have focus, you don't have the options. It's the opposite. When you are focused, you know exactly what those intentions are, so then your options actually expand to match your focus. Just think, everything becomes aligned. You can say yes to stuff, you can say no to stuff, and actually sometimes you can say maybe, I don't know, let me think about it, because you're not under pressure to make a decision because you know what you are aligned for, you know what your focus is, and that's what's important to you. It also allows you to have way more freedom. Freedom to be who you want to be, live the life that you want to live. Just focus on moving forward, following your intentions, creating more options, and that freedom to maybe be in a relationship, not be in a relationship, take a job, not take a job, I have a client. Her name is Liza. I think I'm going to talk about her later in the presentation. But she got offered this really great job. The job was good. It was way more money. But she knew the environment was going to be a little difficult. And she didn't want to trade a great environment for better money. But because she had taken the time to become focused, she knew what her options were, she had the freedom to say no. And when you have all of those things, you can make the most of the opportunities that show up in front of you. You have the opportunity to go through those doors as they open and close those other ones behind you. Just think about that. If you're focused, you have your options, you know what's available to you, you create this freedom that's in your heart and your soul, and you're able to take advantage of opportunities that you wouldn't have been able to take advantage of before. For Liza, the opportunities she wanted to take advantage of did not really relate to changing jobs. There were other things in her life, her family, her son, that were more important. So now I really want to talk a little bit about financial well-being, because that's what I think of being wealthy. Financial well-being. Women have a tendency to think of financial well-being and they think of security. They think, oh, I don't want to run out of money. I don't want to be the bad lady. I don't want to have to depend on my families and friends for everything. They don't want to live hand to mouth, month to month. They just want security. Well, I'm going to ask you now to think of security plus financial well-being, which is being wealthy. That maybe now that means you have to control your month-to-month finances, but you controlling that with certain intentions. You know exactly why you are controlling that situation, because in the future it allows you to have the capacity to maneuver when you hit the detours, when something goes wrong, when something hits you when you don't expect it, or you have an opportunity to take advantage of something that you didn't expect. Creating some security does that for you right now and in the future. But when I think about expansiveness of financial well-being, of being wealthy, it's about creating freedom and opportunities, right? Financial freedom to enjoy the choices in your life, to be on track to meet those goals, to live the life that you want to live. That word, those concepts, that idea that you wrote down when I showed you that first slide, that's what being wealthy is. That's what the future can bring. So I ask you to think about security plus financial well-being equals being wealthy. So think of that equation as we move forward. So as you can see, I'm really into you all writing things down. And we all know when you write things down, you internalize it a little bit more. So again, right below where you wrote down, this is the life I want to live, write down your financial goals. They could be owning a home, buying a new car, traveling, going to school, taking care of your kids, whatever those things happen to be. For Liza, my client, her big thing was to go to her family reunion every 2 or 3 years. She just loved seeing her family, and most of her family didn't live where she lived, so she had to travel. And they were really good about finding economical places, but she was always going in debt to go to these family reunions. So that was one of her financial goals. So take a second. I'm going to pause. Just take a second and write down what your financial goals are. So to get to the life that you want to live, to get to those financial goals, you know it's not going to be easy. You know you have to get out of your comfort zone. And we all start in different places. Some of us are very close to getting out of our comfort zone. Some of us are super far and we're just beginning. It doesn't matter. To achieve your intentions and your goals, you really have to be able to do something different. If you're just going to do the same behaviors you always do, of course, nothing's going to change. So I encourage you to start thinking about those behaviors and those things that you're going to do differently. I also encourage you to think about, unlike I've envisioned it here, but the lines out of your comfort zone isn't straight. It's going to be rocky. It's going to be up and down. You're going to hit valleys and mountaintops, and you're going to swivel back and forth. So getting out of your comfort zone isn't an easy thing because you're changing behaviors and you're changing habits that you have in place now. And I'm asking you to think about what are those behaviors and what are those habits you are going to change. So folks that are used to me in my webinars know that I always want you to walk away with something you can change tomorrow. So let's get at it. Pull out your pen and paper and let's work through your financial goals worksheet. So, hey you guys, it's almost the end of 2019. It's fall, and we've only got a few more weeks to 2020. My intention here is to really get you set up for 2020. That means let's get to work at the end of 2019. So write down right now, by the end of 2019, this is what you want. By the end of 2019, I want. Write that down. I want to write that down. Whatever comes to the top of your mind. And then write down, to achieve this goal, I need to. Just write down something. To achieve this goal, I need to do what? Write it down. Just whatever comes to the top of your head. Now, we talked about the comfort zone, getting out of it, not being easy, but you're going to have to change behaviors. So what's going to be difficult about this? What are you going to have to change? Just think of it like a diet or working out, or, you know, I'm not going to have sugar for the next 30 days or carbs for the next 30 days. That first week is okay. That second week, 10 days might be good. What happens on day 15? What happens on day 17? What happens on day 20? This may be difficult because you're craving sugar, right? Your body's like, I need sugar. Or I'm not going to shop on Amazon for the next month. I'm not going to use Postmates for the next month. I'm not going to buy another article of clothing for the next month because maybe by the end of 2019, I want to increase my savings. And that money that's going to Amazon or Postmates or all those other places, well, maybe that can go to you. That can go to your 401k, or that can go to your savings account. And it's going to be difficult because why? You'll have to change your behavior. But as you write these things down, I want you to think about how you will feel when you've accomplished this. You've given up your Amazon. You've given up your Postmates. You've given going out with your girlfriends. How are you going to feel when there's more money in your account? When you saved up enough money for the down payment for your car or for your house or for Eliza, like traveling? How is that going to make you feel? Write that down. You should be using words like, I'd be ecstatic, I'd be happy, I'm like so looking forward to opening my statements. Oh my gosh, I'll be able to do X or Y because I've saved more money. Or I'm so happy to learn about my investments. It's the same thing as dieting or working out, right? My muscles are tighter, I've lost 5 inches. Wouldn't that be great? maybe 3 inches, 2 inches. I take 1 inch. But write down how you will feel. You know, it's that same feeling when you have lost a few inches and you look in your mirror or you put on that pair of pants or that top and they fit better than they did the last time you put them on. It's that feeling. So let me walk you through the process because it's not easy. So I do want you to write these things down. And I want you to put this piece of paper someplace where you can look at it all the time, every day, to remind you this is what you're about. So what is the first big step you're going to take? What if it's as simple as you want to give yourself a raise? You want to save more money, or you want to put more money into your 401k. What's the first big step that you have to make? Maybe it's analyzing your income and your expenses. Maybe it's doing a little bit of math to say, oh, my intention is to save this much next year. This is what I'll have to save every month. This is what it looks like every pay period. Maybe your first big step is just figuring it out. Then what's the next step? Because it never just ends with one step. And that's what I mean when we talk about getting out of your comfort zone. You can do that math, you can figure out what you need to do, but then maybe you have to go onto your bank and automate it. Maybe you have to figure out what expenses you're going to cut out. Maybe if you want to give yourself a raise in your 401k, you're going to have to pick up the phone and call HR or log in to your account, change some things around. It's going to take a second because it's not something you do all the time. So you might have to commit some time. So realize what the next step is. Don't just think up here, think here. Get in the weeds. Realize what the next thing is. What behavior are you going to have to do to make those changes? And realize what the struggle will be, because there will always be a struggle. If you think about dieting, I know when I say, okay, no sugar, and I'm good at 10 days, 14 weeks, and then I'm in Trader Joe's and I lose my mind. I buy something I shouldn't buy, I go through and I eat that, and then I start another month of all over again. I'm going to lay off the sugar. So I got to find better strategies. You know, where are my carrots? Where are my apples? When I feel I need chocolate. So what's your struggle? Maybe you hate calling HR. Maybe they're non-responsive. Maybe you can't figure out how to automate your savings account. Maybe you need to go online and find out which banks have the highest savings and you need to transfer that money and you don't really feel like doing that. Maybe you're one of those people that don't like looking at their expenses and figuring out what's going on. So just take the time and realize what the struggle will be, and then commit the time and the energy to work through it, to have a plan of how you're going to get past that particular struggle. And there'll be multiple struggles, so just anticipate them and be prepared. And so here are some ideas. What are some big thoughts? What can you change tomorrow? As I've mentioned a couple of times, you can always give yourself a raise, right? That's easy to do. What's your goal for 2020? Maybe you want to save 5% more, $500 more, $1,000 more. You know what? Start it now. Practice. See what that looks like. See what that means to put more money into your 401k, put more money into your investment account. Maybe you want to save up to start an investment account. It's super easy now. You can start an investment account with very little money. You can get a diversified portfolio that looks very much like your 401k. Start doing that now. Just start practicing so that when 2020 comes, you're ready to go. You understand the behaviors that you have to make and the changes you have to have in your life. So maybe you need to automate your investments. Maybe your 401k is completely automated, but your savings isn't. You know, I talk to a ton of clients that say, oh, when what's left over, that's what I move to my savings account. I'm going to challenge you. How much is left over? What is left over every month? Give it yourself a true number. And if it's $500, just automate that. If you want to push yourself into a stretch goal, make it $550, $525. Automate that. Push yourself, put a name on it. Put a number on it. Oops. Don't go out as much. You know, I have many clients, and they love being with their friends. And they love to go out. They love to hang out. They love to do super fun stuff. I'm going to challenge you. Do super fun stuff that doesn't cost a lot of money. Go on walks, go on hikes, go out to the beach. Just do something that's easy and not expensive. Potlucks are great. Invite people to your house. Doesn't have to be fancy. Get clarity on your income and expenses. How much do you bring in every month and what is going out the door? Be absolutely clear on that. I challenge you to do that. And if you don't know what that is, you have between now and 2020 to get that clarity, to be focused on that. Because then when you're focused on that, on your income and your expenses, you know what your options are. It gives you freedom within that space, and then you know what opportunities you can take advantage of. Don't always give your kid money. So I know that's really hard, and kids have a lot of expenses. I'm going to challenge you to think about what those expenses are on a monthly basis. Some months are crazier than others. That's fine, but anticipate that and put a budget on it. And then share that with your kid. Share with your children or your child, look, this is what I'm committed to help you with every single month. Could be clothes, school activities, extracurricular activities. Count in the things you all do together. If you all go out and have lunch, you go to the beach, you know, go on walks, you go get a Slurpee, Starbucks, whatever that is. Share that with your child so they know they'll understand the value that you are putting on that relationship. Get off of Amazon and all the other shopping sites. I don't have to say that twice. Just take the computer, just don't go on those sites. And absolutely make financial well-being a priority. I want to circle back around and talk about security plus financial well-being equals being wealthy. It's an equation. I challenge you to make that part of your lifestyle. Make financial well-being a priority. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everyone this is what's important to you. Oh, here's my client Liza. Let's talk about her. So she's been my client for a couple of years. She's a really good saver, but she was unsure of her next steps. And she wanted to make smart decisions about her money and not sure how she should tackle investments in the market. She had a 401k. She didn't really understand it. But she knew what was important to her, her family, and her son. So she cut out all the noise. She focused on what was important to her. We made sure her investments, both her 401k investments and her other outside investments, were aligned with her goal. She and her son are protected, so she doesn't have to worry about them. She shared her goals with her family and friends and her son, so they all knew what was important to her. So much so, as much as she loved her family, she missed one of the family reunions because she was always going in debt to do these reunions. And she skipped one. I think they were every 2 or 3 years. I've forgotten, but she skipped it. And it was great because then she's going next year, I think, and that money is all saved up for her and her son, and she's super excited. And when she told her family, they completely understood. She's now on track to retire a little early and at 59, And she's taking a bucket list trip to Thailand next year. She found a really inexpensive deal. She signed up for it, put her deposit down. She has saved up most of the money, and she'll be able to pay for the air and the housing and everything by the end of the year, and she'll be ready to go next year. So I know we're running a little bit out of time, so let me pop through this. So I do share with my clients this thought, and it's from Arthur Ashe, and I want to encourage you not to judge yourself. Don't go backwards, only go forward. So you can only start where you are, you can only use what you have, and you can only do what you can do. And how can you do that? First of all, you manage the self-talk. Stop saying, I can't do this, it's too hard, I don't know what to do, I fell off the bandwagon, I can't do this. Stop that. Just believe you can do it and start saying positive affirmations, positive talk to yourself. Even if you fell off the bandwagon, like, oh, that was a bad purchase, or I shouldn't have done that. That's okay. Tomorrow's another day. What can you do tomorrow? Stop limiting your beliefs. You can do whatever you want. These are your choices. You can make a choice of what you want to do. Don't limit your beliefs. And finally, get over the fear of failure. We all fail. We all fall down. And just reframe that. So it's all about learning. Learning about what happened. What can you take away from that and apply to the future? Just manage all of those things and think about those things as you look at that sheet of paper and you've written all those things down. So I encourage you to stay focused. When you get confused or you're unsure, just Google it. That's what we all do. Don't be stymied by what is in front of you. You don't know what to do. Just do some research. Automate it. Absolutely. Automate paying yourself. Automate paying your expenses. Commit time. Like I said earlier, it takes time to set things up. And that time usually isn't scheduled in our day. So take the time, commit the time. I'm going to change my 401k. I have blocked half an hour off to do that. I'm going to go call HR. I'm going to go online. I'm going to give myself a raise in my 401k. And if it takes only 20 minutes or 15 minutes, you have an extra 15 or 20 minutes. But commit the time. And then if you're super confused, you don't know what to do, get some help. That's what our clients have done. They have reached out to us to get help, just to get going and be held accountable. Stop trying to be perfect. Don't let perfect be the enemy of the good. Just go forward. Getting out of the comfort zone is hard. Don't be perfect as you go. That's not your goal. Here are your 3 secret weapons. 1, getting beyond perfect will lead you to better behaviors related to your money and wealth. Realize that. Get beyond perfect. Self-imposed obstacles, the negative self-talk, the limiting beliefs, this is going to be hard, I don't want to commit the time, they're getting in the way of you creating a space where you are comfortable and confident about your money and wealth. Getting out of your comfort zone, come on, let's go. You know it's not going to be easy, but start changing those behaviors. Set yourself up for 2020. You only have a few weeks left. Set yourself up for 2020 so you're ready to go. I'm all in favor of practicing. Practice every week, every month. Change those expenses, change that savings. Just realize that I want 2020 to look different and I'm committed to changing those behaviors. Be truthful to yourself. Know where you struggle. Know what your strengths are. So just be truthful. Don't lie to yourself. And if you need help with something, if you need someone to hold you accountable, just do that. That's what friends and family are for. Check on me about this. I'm going to give myself a month or week or whatever to do this. Identify your strengths. What are you good at? If you can't figure out some of the math, have somebody help you. Don't beat yourself up over your weaknesses, because you can get help with your weaknesses. We all aren't perfect, none of us. So you're going to have strengths, you're going to have weaknesses. Just be truthful with yourself and what those are. Because at the end of the day, do you know who's going to give you everything? Yourself. This is a quote from Diane von Furstenberg, great designer, super smart lady. So just remember, you are the center of your universe. It's your life that you have to live. I really want to encourage you to live that life and make those changes and be ready to start 2020 with a bang. Again, this is how you can contact me. This is the URL to book an appointment. Feel free, or go to our website and connect with us to touch base with any of us. I really, really appreciate you all taking the time to do this. I've enjoyed talking to you all about this, and of course, if there's any feedback, please let me know, and I'd love to hear from you all. Take it easy, and if I don't talk to you before the end of the year, have a great holiday. Thanks.